So I'm a kid. Me and my brother are watching Dragon Balls. Excuse me. And this isn't Toonami. That will come years later. This is in the 90s. So um, you would have had one of these TVs that wasn't digital. So on air and use something called an antenna. And how we had to watch Dragon Ball Z once for, okay, it only came on once a week. It was on a Saturday. So normally we would sleep in because no school. But for Dragon Ball Z, it came on early for like 6, 7. So we got up and then we had to put on the correct channel. But the problem was like the channel wasn't really official. If you had one of these TVs, you might know what I'm talking about. To where if you turn the dial and you could get it in between an official channel or not. So like it's kind of hard to explain. Like 25 didn't exist yet. So, but if you get between 2019, you just kind of hang it there. A picture will kind of come through, and then you will move the antenna, maybe get some aluminum foil, and I'm getting real kid on now, and just kind of hold in the right position for the picture to come in. And we usually do that every week. And sometimes we miss the first 5 minutes. Like, there it is, there it is. And sometimes the picture will only stay unless you held it. So you're gonna have to stay there till commercial. Uh, and I remember this day, me and my brother, and this was during the Frieza arc. In fact, we how we understood it, Goku just beat Frieza. He just threw down a spirit bomb on him, and it was looking all happy and said, "You did it." Frieza comes back. Looks like he's unstoppable. He's a little banged up, but he's ready to fight. Goku is out of energy. He takes out Krillin, and back then, um, the deaths really hit back then. It wasn't like, oh, we just wish him back. Uh, I felt Krillin's death. I did not see that coming at all, and I thought there's no beating him. That was they all gained up on him, and there was no beating him. And this was one of them. Where were you kind of moments? Because it kind of feel like some of you weren't even born, but that's okay. And when I saw Goku, when we saw her Goku, like just get so angry, tense up, get flashes between Vegeta and Bardock, his father, and then just his hair just start flashing. It's like kind of slow, like what's going on? And then when he actually transformed, when I say that me and my brother just had this on our look faces, like gape, like just wow, that was a kind of special moment. You don't know that was when Goku first became a Super Saiyan. I remember after that episode ended, I'm talking to my brother. We're like, what happened? What happened? I thought, hey, wasn't Vegeta talking about something like Super Saiyan? He's a Super Saiyan. Like all that. So all that was brand new to us. I bring that up because you already know that the creator of Dragon Ball, Akira Toriyama, has passed away at age 68. And it's because of him that I have that memory, because that was kind of a special memory between me and my brother. And at first, I was gonna make this video. A lot of people are putting their videos up, and this channel doesn't really get a lot of views. And so I didn't want to seem like I was clout chasing. But the day it happened, my one of my closest friends, he called me, mentioned like, "Hey, Akira Toriyama passed away." I said, "I know, I heard." My sister next day said, "Hey, Akira Toriyama passed away." I know. Talked to her about it, about making a video, and she said that half her friends came from Dragon Ball Z. I realized, like, if I really think about it, I know if you're watching this and you're thinking it's just a cartoon, but I understand that. But since I since at heart I'm a writer myself, I would love to even create something half or just a quarter of iconic as Akira Toriyama has. Because when I think about it, it wasn't just a character you created. Because that creator, that character, and the anime that came at it after, just going on how many shows just were inspired by Goku, inspired by that character, inspired by Dragon Ball. I'm talking the whole frame: Dragon Ball Z. I even like GT, so Super, all of it. Kid may not create everything, but created all. He created the blueprint, the story, and how many shows and stories just mirrored and took inspiration from him. Um, and when you think of it that way, and how it just expanded, the friend that texted me first to tell me that he passed away, uh, we met in junior high. We did not like each other at first. I'd say for that first year, year for half the year, didn't really get along that much. Uh, and I can't exactly remember what was it that kind of broke the ice. It could be because we both. It turned out we were both kind of nerdy kids. And guess didn't know it, and that we were the only ones that would actually do like homework assignments so we can help each other. Uh, but I recall we both like Dragon Ball Z, and any beef would just kind of squash when we find something that you like it too, because back in those days, anime, cause anime was just looked at as cartoons, and if you would still watch cartoons in high school, then you're a nerd. Uh, so it wasn't as prevalent and mainstream as as it is now back then. Um, but so this is like early 2000s now. We found that we liked that, and it was like friendship. And again, like I can't move. We're talking years later now that we're still friends. And there's a lot of friendship, relationships, and just conversations that get talked about because of Dragon Ball and because of what Dragon Ball has done. And when I started thinking about it, it wasn't just the show because some people don't have watched the show. It is it is probably one of the most watched anime shows in my opinion. That draw people into it, especially non-typical anime watchers that can be drawn in because of this show. It's probably one of the main reasons uh, that it kind of crossed over from just being kind of niche, at least in America. I know in native Japan, it may probably be a different story, but at least in America, where it crossed over to where now you'd have to be considered the nerdy kid that watched Dragon Ball, that watched the anime. But when I think about it, and I've been to a couple, comic book conventions and anime, that kind of sort. And what he really created, in my opinion, was not just us, not just help the genre story, but it was like a space. It was a space where like friendships grew and people can have dialogue. It was something that we had something in common and we could talk about it, and yeah, relationships just kind of grew from there. And I think about like the memories, and then if I go into what it did to video games, I mean, I played. I, I, there's not many uh, Dragon Ball games that I have not played because I remember we couldn't afford at the time. We couldn't put me nor my friend. We couldn't afford the PlayStation 2, so we got this. It's like this rare. I can't remember the name of it, but it was like this Dragon Ball Z game that was like from Japan. It was some. I don't know where he got it from, or but we put in none of the game was in English. It was the announcer, the World Tournament announcer. He was speaking Japanese, and the only thing we can understand was when we lost, he just said "You suck," and that was kind of special. Like if I'm thinking about, it, I'm thinking what I'm missing. I'm missing because there are obviously there's other animes that I got into, but Dragon Ball is always going to be one of my top three. I was on top five, top 10, top three uh, shows. Period. And I'm just again thinking about just the moments of connection between people. I remember when we first got internet, and it was dial up. The only website I thought about going to was the Dragon Ball Z website. It it took about almost 30 minutes for that thing to load again. You had to have dial up to kind of understand just how special it was. just to look at it. I remember I was in this class, freshman or maybe I was a sophomore, and it was like this technology class where we did different labs and we made different things. And I found this thing like it's this like mug. I know kind of broke, but and you would print like little pictures on it. So the two shows I watched, you can't tell, is Yu-Gi-Oh, and so that's six over here, and Dragon Ball Z. I mean, look at that. And this one was the. I really thought that that was a real transformation. I forget what it Dragon Super Saiyan 10 or whatever. Uh, Man, and I just remember because I think GT was coming out as well. You know, and I think my teacher walked by, and I wasn't. I don't know why I was a little worried that he was looking on my shoulder. Maybe he was. I thought he was gonna say that you can't print that. Inappropriate, whatever. I don't know why. But he looked over and I swore I had this memory, and he said, "Dragon Ball Z." And I was not like, "Yes." You're like, "Cool." That the teacher knew who was who Dragon Ball Z, what Dragon Ball Z was, and the more it is something that I'm gonna think about later. Like I didn't realize just how much this is in pop culture. Like it's in like especially hip hop songs. Uh, I was listening to one, and somebody I was watching the video, and he was talking about Toriyama, and he said like getting brolic, and I was like, wait, Lecrae said brolic. I didn't. Wow, that's what it came from, Broly. And just like man, it's just so many connections that you don't think about. And as I'm sure this is not the only video of this that you're watching, but just listen to everybody's story. You'll see that this had a much bigger impact than I even thought. Like impacted so much. And again, I don't know. It's an anime. Uh, it's not going so far as saying that it's like taking place in my faith or anything like that. No, no. But man, like I was saying, I made that. It's you. I don't have it here. But it's like I might put it. It's I made even like an art piece. I took this picture, this cool wallpaper, and I made it to like a canvas. Um, and I thought it was so good that I made decorations like Goku at Ultra Instinct. I have shirts. I was gonna wear the shirt, but I was like, no, no, I'm not gonna go overboard with this. Because so this is a video that's gonna get really edited. Not much. I might put some people on here. I don't know, but I just feeling kind of raw, and I don't know how many people are gonna see this or even anybody, but that doesn't really matter because the point was there. I'd be lying if I said he didn't make an impact on my life, and yeah, so it won't be the same without him. All right, this is subscribe if you're watching this and you made this far. Put down a memory that you have because of Akira Toriyama. This is subscribe, and I'll see you next time. Take care.
Is it too good to be true? I want this so much, but don't know if I can trust you. My mind's racing fast, trying to find the red flags I'm used to. All these green lights, are they coming too soon? Caught between red and the green.